I would argue that as long as you're not distraught, as long as someone you love didn't die that day, heaven forbid that happens often, let's say a couple of times a decade, besides those days, you should be happy enough to go to the gym and perform and make. If you're chasing happiness, you're only going to do hedonistic garbage and achieve absolutely nothing important. If you wake up and say, I don't care how happy I am, I want to be proud of myself and I want to make other people proud of me, so I have to do all these things irregardless of how I feel, you're going to have a fantastic life. If you wake up and say, I want to be happy, you're going to chase silly hoes, drugs, and alcohol.
Well, that's temporary happiness, right?
Well, but how else can you get instant happiness unless it's temporary? To get long-term happiness is something that's only going to come from dedication and hard work, which requires short-term suffering. It's just delayed. So if you're dedicating yourself and working hard for the future happiness, but especially considering the fact that most people are never happy with what they get, you always want more, your life just becomes hard work and dedication and struggle and suffering, and that's what you just exist within, and you don't operate under the paradigm of happy or sad. To me, it's quite binary. It's not a scale of how happy am I. It's just, has something terrible happened today? Am I distraught? No, then I'm happy. It's almost like there's no such thing as cold. It's just an absence of heat. There's space. There's no cold. There's just heat or there's no heat. Well, if there's no despair, heaven forbid a family member dies, if there's no despair, then there's only happiness left. I mean, I was happy in jail. I'm happy here. I'm happy in Romania. I'm happy they arrested me. I'm happy all the time because unless something truly devastating happens, it's the only frame I operate under. But to me, happiness isn't the giddish, smiling, look at me, I'm happy. That's for children and women. And as a man, truthfully, you get your contentment. I wouldn't even say happiness, but you achieve your contentment through making others happy. I feel content when my children are happy. I feel content when I make my woman happy. I get more from giving than receiving. That's why Christmas is set up the way it is and dad never gets anything. We give. We go to work, we struggle, we make money, we suffer so others can be happy because of us. It's not our job to be happy ourselves. You show me a man who wakes up and says he wants to be happy himself, I'll show you a bitch. Because that's not what you're supposed to do. As a man, you're supposed to wake up and say, all right, my life might be shit. I'm going to suffer. I may be miserable. But every single person I love is going to be happy. Instead, so you live externally, you live through them. You give them the happiness.
So happiness is just a bonus.
Well, happiness...
Because you can still take care of the wife and the kids and like be jacked and be happy.
Of course, you can be, but it's not the be all and end all of the masculine imperative.